Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise, myself Jason, today bringing you a whiskey review into the Dalmore King Alexander III. So this is going to conclude our Dalmore core expressions, and I picked up this bottle back when I was getting into whiskey. I heard the story of the King Alexander III and it just was like an auto click. I said I have to buy this bottle. I tasted the liquid and I'll tell you about it through this video. Now, we have reviewed the core range of Dalmore, the 12, the 15, the 18, and the Cigar Malt, which I'll leave a playlist to over here. And throughout the video, I'll also share the link to each one as we get along the video. So I want to cover a bit of history into the King Alexander III. Now, the age on this one, it's a no-age statement whiskey. Doesn't support an age, so it could have young whiskey, it could have very old whiskey. We're just not sure. In terms of the ABV, it's bottled at 40% ABV. The cask selection is one of the most complex in terms of maturation. It does contain 6 different casks, so 6 different casks. We have American White Oak ex-bourbon, we have Madeira casks, Masala casks, port pipes, Matsalem Oloroso sherry casks, and the final one is Cabernet Sauvignon red wine casks. So these 6 come together to make this whiskey. Now, in terms of the distillery itself, is the Dalmore Distillery. Sorry, Mr. Bananas. Dalmore Distillery. They are owned by the parent company White & Mackay, and they are located in the Highlands of Scotland. Now, the price point on this bottle over here, it's one of the very pricier bottles from Dalmore, and it's priced at £155 in the domestic market here in the United Kingdom. I paid £115 for this one when I was flying through the airport in Heathrow, and I saw that price and I was like, I'm saving almost £40. It'd be silly of me to miss out on an opportunity, so that's exactly what I did. And when I heard about the story, tasted the quality of the whiskey, I was like, I had to get this whiskey. So I poured myself a little bit here to sit in the glass. In terms of exclusivity, it's not exclusive, and in terms of caramel colour, they do add caramel colour. You can see all the Dalmores have this very darkish appearance, and that is because of E150 caramel colour. And I'll actually show you guys a picture of the back of this bottle, which says here Zucker colour, which means caramel colour. So, I'll give you a quick history on the King Alexander and why it's called King Alexander III. I don't know if I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to give you a very sort of different style of my reviews and history lessons of whiskey. So, I'll read a little extract from the back about 1263. The Dalmore heritage dates back to 1263, when an ancestor of the Clan Mackenzie, owners of the Dalmore distillery for over a century, saved King Alexander III from the fury of a charging stag. In recognition of this noble act, the grateful king granted the Clan Mackenzie the right to use a 12-point stag, representing a royal in their coat of arms. This striking icon since adorned each bottle of the Dalmore, symbolizing the Dalmore distillery's regal legacy. So that gives you a brief overview, and that doesn't give you much of a brief overview, but all in all, it's one of the gentlemen from, one of the ancestors of the Mackenzie clan. He saved the King of Scotland at the time, King Alexander III, as he was stuck, I believe, under his horse, and a stag came charging towards him. The Clan Mackenzie gentleman jumped in, killed the stag, saved the king. The king was happy about it. He then was very grateful and gave them this ability to have this on their coat of arms, being the 12-pointed stag. And then down the line, the owners from the Dalmore distillery decided we want to sort of also say thank you and sort of represent King Alexander III as he gave us this coat of arms, and then they made a whiskey in his honor, and they wanted it to be complex and rather unusual and unique. So there we have King Alexander III. Let me know which one you prefer, my version or reading the box, because I spent a lot of time looking into this and I thought it could be kind of cool to read a box as well occasionally. So, since it's caramel colour, we do not need to assess the colour on this whiskey. Let's begin by straight away getting into the nose of the whiskey. So, into the nose. To start on the nose of the King Alexander III, this one is quite mellow, it's quite rounded. The character's instantly on the nose for me. I'm picking out notes of salted almonds, caramel, dried orange segments, like you cut pieces of orange and you just left them out to dry. Hazelnuts, but hazelnuts coated in layers of dark chocolate, and this is very rich dark chocolate, giving a slight bitter character on the nose. I'm picking out even notes on this one of malted biscuits and a sweeter aspect that sort of develops more further as you nose this one for a period of time. It's almost like lemon sherbet, but the one thing that I'm getting, and this is like a memory of a sweet I used to get, was these little sweets called love hearts, and they're like sherbety sweets. They're quite hard sweets, and when you bite on them, they give you that sherbety character of different flavors. That sort of aroma when you open a packet of those, and that sweetness that just wafers in the air. It's just instantly I get this on the nose in this one, and that citrus still lingering on the back end. Let's get into the palate of this whiskey. Slanger. The palate for the King Alexander is quite silky. As it coats the palate, the texture of this one is more on the lines of medium full, maybe even full in texture, as the silkiness is still just wrapping itself all around the palate, sinking into my taste buds. I'm getting that nutty character, which I found on actually the older Dalmores, like the 18, where they get that walnut whip, that chocolate, walnut, oiliness, and a little bit of cream, all combined together. And then it goes into a citrus character, a ripe, juicy, succulent Seville orange, a combination of even the peel and the juiciness from inside. Nutmeg spice, cinnamon. Even like you're taking a chocolate croissant with this chocolate inside and chocolate over the top, and you've dusted it with a little bit of cinnamon powder, and you've taken a bite out of that, and you're getting all these little characters, even a little bit of pastry coming through. Buttered pastry. I'm gonna have a second sip. This has got so much going on. The second sip now is revealing a bit more of those fruitier characters. Blackcurrants, raspberries, almost combined together and stewing in their own juices, producing a slight tartiness. There is a faint musky character, like a Dunwich warehouse. Monkey's eaten one of those. I've not touched one of them. But it's also got a sort of caramel. I don't know if this is the finish, but it's like a caramel frappuccino with fudge cubes in it. I don't know if you've ever tried that. You can go to pretty much coffee shops and you'll always find sort of like a frappuccino, a caramel frappuccino. It reminds me exactly of that. When I was actually in America, when I was in Los Angeles, that's what I had in one of the Starbucks. And I just loved that flavor. And that's exactly what I'm getting on this one. A caramel frappuccino with fudge cubes. Little fudge cubes cut up and put into it. Let's get into the finish and come to our conclusion. You okay? He's okay. Finish of the Dalmore King Alexander has a lot of what I'd say is licorice, but not red licorice, black licorice. Raisins. There's coffee characters. A milder dark chocolate now coming through. Maybe dark chocolate raisins. And a very soft citrus character on the back end with a slight bit of spice rolling off the mid into back palate as it sort of finishes. Overall finish for this whiskey is quite long. It's holding out. It's got different flavors all over the palate, and I really accredit the 6 different casks they used to mature this whiskey. Really good job. Mr. Bananas, I think he's down and out for this one, but I'm going to conclude the video. I'm giving the Dalmore King Alexander III, giving a 91 out of 100. Might seem rather interesting, but for me, I just love the different complexities in this whiskey. It brings up memories which I really treasure and I experienced when I was traveling. Just the complexity of this whiskey I think is great. The flavors, the texture. Downsides on this whiskey, there is 3. One is the ABV at 40%. When you've got so much complexity going on, why is it at 40%? Which is a question I'd ask Dalmore when I go to visit them. Another one is caramel color. It's really just not necessary in the King Alexander III, being, so many different types of casks. It'd been really cool to see the different types of cask and what color the actual whiskey comes out at the end. Unless every single batch of King Alexander is completely different looking, in which case then I can understand caramel color, but still doesn't justify it. And the price point, which is weighing it down, being £150. You're probably going to hear a helicopter going over my house. But £150, I think is a bit steep. I think 120 would be just about good, being that it's a no-age statement and that you've got all these different casks. But give them the benefit of doubt, being 6 different casks and quite a complex whiskey. So, all in all, 91 out of 100. Let me know if you've tried the Dalmore King Alexander. What's your thoughts? Mr. Bananas, I think you're going to have to sit up. He's going to be here. So, 91 out of 100. Let me know your thoughts if you try the King Alexander down in the comments section below. And also, if you have enjoyed the video, drop it a like. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And also check out some of the other Dalmore videos. I'll leave them up on screen. But on that note, Mr. Bananas is down and out. He's just done the Dalmore Core Range. I've done the Dalmore Core Range. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you all for the next video. Sláinte.